Is this on? On now?
Whoa.
Oh, I didn't sign up. Did I sign up?
Did everybody sign up to speak tonight that wants to speak tonight? If not, please do so now.
Wow.
Are you on? You're not on.
I am on. Listen, you can hear it.
I'm in pain.
Oh, you're not gonna allow his one.
Yeah.
Showing.
Oh, it'd be nice to get the water in my mouth.
They say that helps. They say that helps.
Watch it.
I am losing weight.
Yeah.
Watch.
Well, I've spent the last 2 weeks in bed.
That helps.
I know, it's an agenda item. Front watch.
We have no lieutenant tonight, right? I thought that looked nice.
My email today.
Did I miss something? It doesn't say when the advisory board meetings are in here.
What's that?
Did I miss something because it doesn't, I can't find where it says when the advisory board meetings
He was the old guy that used to run.
are. People know
Where'd you get this?
the table.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Sure you. It's the last community center.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't read that.
I didn't think so.
I've been pretty busy, like, I don't really check my emails every day.
Ready, Pam?
Yes.
Hey, Kathy, this is yours. This on now? Yep. I don't know why I need it. I got a loud mouth. On behalf of the Rainbow Lakes Estates Advisory Board, welcome to
Yeah.
the February 15th, 2024 Advisory Board meeting. As a courtesy to others, please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. If you need to take a call, please step outside. Talking or outbursts from the audience during the meeting will not be permitted. Please take seats if they are available. Board members and guests, if you wish to specifically call upon and speak with an individual in the audience during the meeting, please address the chair first. You do not need to address the chair to speak to other board members or to anyone from the public who is addressing the board during the agenda or general public comment portions of the meeting. This board does not allow in the past, nor will allow in the future, personal attacks or insults against Rainbow Lakes Estate staff, advisory board members, or community volunteers. Please keep your comments appropriate. Okay, we'll start with the invocation. Holy One, known by many names and beyond all names, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and time to work. However, only you can see in perfect detail the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Your righteousness transcends all our efforts and understanding. Forgive us our pride, the pride that puffs us up, and the pride that threatens to unqualify us. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. Bless this meeting today, all those present, all the residents, volunteers, and employees of Rainbow Lakes Estates, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Ready us to make every moment count. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kathy Bryant. Here. Paula Gottlieb. Gary Levitt.
Here.
Alan McKay.
Here.
Dallas Silverman.
Here.
Dan Winchelston.
Present. Okay. Okay, Fan, we have anybody on the agenda for public comment?
Brian Chase.
Brian? Please state and spell your name for the record. You are also required to give your full address. Thanks.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. I'm Brian Chase, 22040, Southwest Nautilus. I've been a resident of the RLE for 10 years. I went to a workshop last night on Crime Watch, and I think most, if not all of you, got the letter that I wrote, so I won't go over that again. I just wanted to state publicly that I think if we had a crime watch that was working and it wasn't covering Levy because of the changes with the sheriff's department, now we're faced with, we gotta buy 2 cars, a big expense, a new ad valorem tax. Right now, we got no more taxes, and we could have had our crime watch. Instead, it seemed like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like, there was sort of a knee-jerk reaction, like, here, take your cars.
Okay, Brian, you said correct you if you're wrong. The sheriff,
Ask the chairman.
pardon me, Mr. Chairman.
Let him finish this.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead.
So, I assume, that's not gonna count on my 2 minutes, but, basically, we handed the cars back, and basically, you could have taken this problem aside and worked Levy County issue without, abandoning Crime Watch in the meantime. Right now, none of us have Crime Watch, and it's because, some knee-jerk reaction, which, trying to play chicken with the sheriff is not gonna work, So I'm just trying to, impress upon the board that, get those cars back, continue our crime watch, and then, and then work out the other problem separate. And don't keep our Marion County Crime Watch hostage to this issue with Levy County. You can do them both simultaneously, and we can maintain Crime Watch in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Brian. There's a lot of rumor and speculation on social media. It was the sheriff's department who disbanded the Crime Watch here because of the Levy issue. 7 of the 9 members left in protest. That left 2 members, and the sheriff's department felt that was not enough to adequately. So it was not that we surrendered any vehicles or anything.
I'm ready to pull a shift anytime you get those cars back. So.
Okay, thank you.
And we had like 15 guys here, or guys and gals here last night. So there's plenty of people if you get those cars back. So I encourage you to do that, and then work your Levy County issues separately. Just don't make this a big showdown. Because it's all that drama for nothing. I mean, I personally don't want to see the expense at all. I don't want to see it 1 dime spent additionally to what we had before. So, but that's only one opinion. But I do have, some strong feelings in terms of, keep it running while you fix the other problem, please.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, Brian?
Yeah.
Need to address a couple of things. As the chairman had stated, the sheriff decided to do this because 2 people was not enough to run the program. The people that resigned did so partly out of protest and partly out of disgust. When the sheriff determined, or because of an accident, and he was made aware of it, a 20-year agreement that had been in place and honored for 20 years, all of a sudden, it's no longer valid. So he decided we could not patrol Levy County anymore. It doesn't matter whether you or anybody else wants it to happen. We can't do it. We cannot take a sheriff's department car into Levy County. Or we're
I'm asking for us to continue to cover everybody in RLE that's in Marion County and work your Levy County issue separately. And I'm asking for you to appeal to the sheriff's department to put all those 15 people that were here last night, put them back to work in those cars, because I'll volunteer for more than the average per month.
Oh.
If you get those cars back here and get this crime watch going right now.
Now
We're without a crime watch, and that's like, that's disservice to the people in the community, I think.
I would love that to happen too, but all the people that quit will have nothing to do with the sheriff again.
That's okay, you got 15 more that showed up last night.
Though,
except for that one
a
guy.
lot of those are the original people.
A lot of them are the Levy
They're the
County
original
residents.
people. They all quit.
Why
all of
did
them
they come to the meeting?
Because they're volunteering to go on
The new.
a reorganized one, yes. That's what it was. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but the wheel was just broken in front of us. We didn't have a choice in the matter.
Well, if you went to them and said, we have more people now, I'm sure that you could return to the old arrangement. And I would like for that to happen until such time that you can, buy your patrol car, get approval for the funding, buy your patrol car, do whatever else you're gonna do. I would encourage you all to vote no on that, because I think it's, I disapprove of any additional taxes at this stage for this, when we've got coverage from Marion County. And unfortunately, my solution for Levy County is, best of luck to you, I mean, we're just, the lines, the county lines and the budgets are drawn a certain way. All y'all are appointed by Marion County people, so it's a Marion County deal. So to have Levy County just throw us all into this chaos is, to me, it's unjust. And it's like, let's try and do what we can for them, but, don't let them be the cause of big tax increases for the Marion County residents of Rainbow Lakes Estates. That's my position, and, I understand the extenuating circumstances, and I'm sympathetic, but I still say, we had a good thing going, and someone broke it. And the sheriff had a part in that, and I think we had a part in that. But I'd like for us to fix that first before we go off and create a new fiefdom, I understand, it would be good. I like the idea about, some of the additional things coming up, but, who could pay for that, I can't afford another $100 on my annual, tax bill, and it'll probably be more than that, but, with the $90,000 he's got, listed in there. So, it's a lot of expense, and they were doing the maintenance and everything on those cars. So that was like a freebie compared to now. Now we're gonna saddle up a bunch of expense. We can't just go spending this money for the, most residents, if I went around the residents and I told them what was happening, they would say, no, don't do this. It's a good thing I went to the meeting last night, because I would have no idea this was going on, and that, I was about to get my taxes raised for,
But this has been brought up before the board.
Thank you, Brian.
Our co-chair,
Yeah.
Thank you.
our co-chair has addressed this.
Yeah.
Anyone else, Pam? Nope. All right, moving on. I need an approval for the minutes for January 18th, 2024. Any questions concerning these minutes? If not, I'll need a motion and a second
I make the
and a
motion.
vote.
I'll
What's that?
I
second.
make the motion.
I'll second.
Kathy made the motion. All
I'll
in,
second.
Dan second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. All right, moving on to advisory committee member reports. Vice Chairman, Public Safety, Alan McKay.
Okay, my report will be brief today. Great deal has happened since our last meeting, and I'll try to keep this concise and get the necessary detail conveyed. Marion County Fire and Rescue statistics, you had urgent medical, 29 calls, life-threatening calls, 3, urgent fire calls, 3, Omega Fire, 2, and immediate medical assistance, 15, immediate fire assistance, 2, routine medical, 3, routine fire, 2, and a total of 59 calls. And that was in the month of January. The remainder of my report will happen in the agenda.
Thank you. Levy County Representative Daniel Schuson.
Mine's not much this month. Code enforcement still has 4 open enforcement violation cases they're working on. Dave Bartman's been out. He was going to try and make it to one of the meetings so that he could give a presentation on current changes within the Levy County Code enforcement. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it today. Roads, everything is fine out there. Southeast 125th was patched already, so the roads and maintenance crew have been out there. Our public safety issue is the same one that we all have, where there's no law enforcement assistance or presence out there right now, so that's kind of beating the dead horse. And then I wanted to ask the chair, I had 2 open items on minutes from prior meetings that were questions, and I just wanted to know if you wanted me to address those now, or if you wanted me to wait until general.
To when?
General business.
Wait till January.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Dan, who's the name of our new liaison for code enforcement?
Dave Barton, he's not new, he's been with Levy County for years.
Oh,
He's been doing it
Levy,
for a while.
I'm sorry, Levy.
Yes, sir.
Because I know our Marion County Marine has moved on, so I just
This is
wondered.
for Levy County.
Thank you, Dan. Moving on, Roads Representative Gary Levitt.
Okay, I'll keep it kind of simple. Marine Boulevard potholes fixed. Route 41 left turn lane potholes fixed. Trout widened. Sunnydale widened. Timberlake working on it as we speak. Other potholes looking into them. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. All right, Buildings and Grounds, Kathy Bryant.
Okay. The clubhouse near the deck and playground, apparently there's been no progress on the building, so we're still waiting for the new plan. The fire station 2, that's no longer being used, is still waiting for a decision on the purpose. The dedication of the George Pugways Field at Seacoast Park is scheduled for March the 26th at 10 a.m. We hope everyone can come. I spoke to several residents this month who expressed the concern that they were not aware of the advisory board meetings and the event meetings that were scheduled. So we need to do something about that. In reference to last month's concern about the weeds along the road, I noticed that our maintenance staff was cutting the weeds this week. So I thank everyone who called to chat with me about their concerns, and as usual, I'm always available.
All right, thank you. All right. Okay, code enforcement, we have no person in that position right now, and recreation, Paula Golick is absent. All right, so that's it for our reports. Our special committee guests tonight are our new MSTU Director, Chad Wicker, Katie Freeman, Marion County MSTU Operations Manager, Katie Burton, Marion County MSTU Recreation Manager, and Dana Olski, Marion County Chief Assistant County Attorney, and Mr. Wicker.
Good evening, my name is Chad Wicker. I am the new MSTU Director. I've been with the county for 21 years, born and raised in Marion County, and I'm excited to be given the opportunity to serve as your MSTU Director and work with you in the future.
Okay, thank you. Ladies, anything? I do like to throw you all under the bus on occasion. I promise we are getting these replaced.
Oh, I know. I do have some updates later on for broadband, but other than that, happy to be here. And answer any questions that come up. Katie Freeman, MSTU Operations Manager. I also have a few updates to address as well, but I believe Dan's going to be asking me those in a few moments. So, thank you.
Okay, we have no consent items, and now we get to the fun stuff. Old business, the Rainbow Lakes Boulevard Meeting Island and entrance walls. Has the bid gone out for contracting for the landscaping and maintenance of the first island and the brick walls?
Katie Freeman, MSTU Operations Manager. Yes, I'd like to address that. We have received a big contract back for that, so we're going to get that set up and tack that onto an additional contract that we already have with another MSTU currently in the county, and so that should significantly reduce the price that we would be paying. So it's going to be around a $4,000 contract. It's going to be taking care of the maintenance that you guys have towards the front of the development and then the medians. And then so that should leave around the $6,000 remaining balance in that line item that you guys have available.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm sorry, just for clarity. When you say that after, so the contract is 4, leaving the 6 remaining?
Yes, so
Thank you.
the total line item is $10,000, and then the contract would be for about $4,000, and then so it would leave the remaining $6,000 available in that line item.
Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions about that? Oh, here come the fun one. All right, Crime Watch, updates on plans for creating an independent Rainbow Lakes Estates Public Safety Services Organization and Citizens Patrol. And I will defer to our Public Safety Representative, Alan McKay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, I conducted a workshop with Citizen Patrol volunteers, and a total of 8 volunteers were present along with 2 concerned citizens. I gave the history and what we have done since RLE Crime Watch was disbanded. I then asked each person to identify themselves, and if they had any concerns, to let us know what they were. The concerns were: the board is not accountable to the residents. At times, the board seems arrogant and aloof. They do not trust the board. They have little use for the RLE office and the lack of response and respect received from it. They are all disgusted with the treatment that the RLE has received from the sheriff. Dave Sheldon expressed his displeasure with the way things have gone and has removed himself from the leadership position and will have nothing further to do with Citizen Patrol. I thanked him for his help and wish him well. Communication with residents is horrible, and the communicator must be mailed on a regular basis, and monthly supplements that are single pages with current events highlighted and important updates not only from the office but the board as well. This must be mandatory, and it was made very clear that this must be rectified. Merely having social media posts does not inform all our residents, as a good number do not use social media. Some residents may elect to receive this by email at their request, if that's what they want. Discussion of the loan closet and location of vehicles and the future of the citizen patrol was also brought up. It was well received. Most of the attendees who were volunteers were in agreement that even though the vehicles might not be available until October due to having be in the budget process, I advised that this would be discussed at the meeting on the 15th. I guess I missed a few lines in there. I was told as we adjourned and people started to leave, when you have cars available, we'll be back. And this is intended to be the communicator is intended to be the primary communication method, and Facebook, etc., is just an additional source. Further, we must investigate what resources we have available on the county level, such as their website. Is it legal for or permitted for us to access and publish to it? And if not, why not? I would like to make a motion that a newsletter be mailed every month without fail that contains all events such as club and board meetings, events and pertinent information such as phone numbers and email addresses, and any other detail the board determines may need to be needs to be current. In addition, a multi-page document sent quarterly, which may go into more detail and have reports from board members and the office and the recreation group. This is what transpired, and the thing that we're trying to rectify, this is an agreement that the sheriff in 1999 had written and signed, authorizing Crime Watch to go into Levy County and had their blessing. For 23 years, actually 24 years, our Crime Watch went into Levy County without incident, without any problem. And because of an accident, and it happens, we're not all perfect, when an accident happened, he was notified of it, and that was it. No more Levy County. We tried, we cajoled, pleaded. I tried 5 times to call the sheriff, would not return my calls. I tried to get through. It got intercepted every time. His secretary intercepted it. He would never return my calls. He didn't want to talk to me, and I don't know why. I don't know what his agenda is. They will not talk to me. So, unfortunately, if they can't do it, we can't get anybody into Levy County. Levy County will not patrol. They haven't patrolled in private areas and in housing areas for 5 years. We want to get adequate coverage for Levy County, just like Marion County has. Right now, we're being patrolled by the Denellen cops group on Highway 41. As a matter of fact, I ride for them. I drive for them. So we do have patrols coming into Marion County portion, but Levy gets nothing. We want to rectify that. That is what our proposal is that we have, that we go about purchasing and or obtaining from the sheriff's department surplus cars to run and maintain our own Crime Watch, where we can patrol Levy County and Marion County. Now, in addition, other things that we would like to do or like to propose to do, for instance, the loan closet we have a loan closet here for durable medical goods. It's currently locked up in the physical fitness center. Hasn't been used since COVID. We would like to rectify that. One of the things I would like to suggest is that our Crime Watch or Citizen Patrol, they have to come up with their own name. That's something that they have to do themselves. But for now, it'll be Citizen Patrol. Citizen Patrol could maintain the loan closet. They can keep record of what's out to who, and people that either do not have one, do not have insurance that will cover them, they can't rent one, they can't afford to rent it. In this case, our residents could use this equipment, and when they were done with it, our Citizen Patrol could come along, pick it up, clean it up, and put it back into the loan closet. It's just one of the services that people that are dedicated and want to work with and for the community can do. We want volunteers, and the volunteer organization that we have is very minimal. Right now, all the board members are tasked to go and work events. It's a lot of work, and we can't do it all. It's not fair that just a few, like maybe 10 people at most, 10, maybe 12, that do all of the work, and so many others benefit. We need volunteers, we need parents, we need retirees, anybody that has some spare moment, a few spare hours. It's very, very vital that we get the volunteers. But Crime Watch or Citizen Patrol also needs volunteers. We would like to have 2 vehicles. It would be wonderful if we could have 2 vehicles patrolling almost, all day. That would be wonderful, because we have 175 miles of roads in the county, or in our district, including Levy County. And with all of that road we have to patrol, that's a lot of streets, and there are a lot of opportunities for us to do some good for the community. I'm not going to read the entire proposal, because it's a long proposal, but it is available. It is available in the minutes. So if you want to read the entire proposal, it goes into great detail as to what we would like to be doing for all of the residents. And if anybody has any questions, I would welcome them right now.
No, well,
Okay.
no.
No? Okay.
I did have one question.
Well, you can address that at the public comment portion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Dan, you have anything to say?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
If you notice, when I approached this subject, I stated safety services, public safety services organization, and citizens patrol. Is that better?
The volume's up too loud.
Turn your mic off if you're not.
I don't address the volume.
Turn your mic off if you're not using your microphone.
Either that or don't get so close to it.
Yeah.
You guys turn your mics off.
Yeah, mine is all.
How's that better?
Yes.
What's that?
You're not squeaking.
I believe that this could actually do a lot more than just Crime Watch. I think that, Pam, what is it now that we budget a year for private patrols?
We budget $30,000 for an off-duty FHP officer, FWC officer, or Marion County Sheriff's deputy.
Right, and so right now we're paying, we budget $30,000 a year out of general government for private patrols. I think if we did this the right way, we could not only include the loan closet, we could include upgraded camera systems for the community, door locks for the buildings. I do believe we can probably get the cars donated, and it could be very similar to the way our former fire department ran. If memory serves me correct, it was the Board of County Commissioners that actually owned our fire trucks, even though they were out of a tax. So one issue is we didn't create the issue that Rainbow Lakes Estates falls in 2 counties. That was handed to us. But we are Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District. Whether you're in the Levy portion or the Marion portion, we are all equal and deserve the same services. So, that's my opinion anyway.
Would this watch also include maybe checking on old senior citizens?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would,
Yes.
wellness checks.
Yes.
Yeah, we would like to encourage our folks to do wellness checks, and also to, when you have snowbirds or folks that are away from their homes, our people would go and check windows and doors and make sure that things were locked and there weren't any broken windows or cut screens or anything like that.
Good. I'm all for it.
Okay.
Does this come upon Chad as far as donated vehicles? Or would they be donated from the county or another source?
I don't think it really matters. Hey, I don't know, I think it was about a decade ago when Detroit went bankrupt, it was private car dealers donated their vehicles for the police department, and they put advertisements on them. I don't care if they have a billboard going down the whole side. If they're a free vehicle, it's a free vehicle.
So how do we get the word out for donations?
I believe we'd have to, Al, I'm gonna have to do a lot of legwork.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Well, we'll continue moving forward with ideas and suggestions on this, and see what we could do. And Mr. Wicker, possibly you could look into how we would get donated vehicles from the county.
I'm gonna actually ask the county attorney, Dana Oleski, to chime in on that.
Sure.
Good evening, Dana Oleski, Chief Assistant County Attorney with Marion County. Can you hear me okay?
I can't hear you.
So I'm relatively new to this idea of the crime watch, citizen patrol, all the different names that you've called it. So I want to take a step back and kind of explain some of the concerns from a legal standpoint, and then I'll address the specific question that you just posed to Mr. Wicker regarding donations. So, as you mentioned, Mr. Chair, Rainbow Lakes Estates Municipal Service District encompasses both Marion County and Levy County. There is a small portion in Levy. You are taxed differently between Marion County and Levy, but you all are under the same purview of the Marion County Board of County Commissioners.
Right.
So this advisory board is an advisory board. You can have the greatest of ideas, but ultimately it has to be approved by the Marion County Board of County Commissioners. I'm legal counsel to them, and I immediately have some legal concerns about a proposal of a crime watch. The statute authorizes a sheriff's office and a municipal police department the authority to operate a crime watch. It does not authorize independent homeowners associations, community associations to develop crime watches for a specific reason. Under the statute, if you are doing crime watch, and obviously we all know that there was a very high profile case involving a crime watch individual, private security, and young gentlemen, and there were some liability issues with regards to the authority that that individual had. What the statute allows is, as long as it is a crime watch that is governed and overseen by a sheriff or a police department, there are crimes, there are certain things that those crime watch volunteers have the ability to do. As private citizens, there are a lot of things that you cannot do under a crime watch or community association, and it would create liability for not only you as individuals, but Marion County Board of County Commissioners. So that first and foremost is the legal concern of creating additional liability. Most of the time when you volunteer, if any of you volunteer in your free time for Habitat for Humanity or Humane Society, you're not an employee. You're not covered. If something happens to you, you're on your own. That's different when you volunteer for the government. There are a lot of liabilities that the Marion County starts to take on when you have all these additional volunteers. which is another reason why the sheriff's office controls crime watch, because you're somewhat insulated under the sheriff's office. Aside from that, and I believe I read the letter from Mr. Chase, is that you have what may be a duplication of charges. Marion County residents pay an MSG for law enforcement. To try to charge them any additional charges for something that appears to look like law enforcement may be a duplication of charges. And you would not be able to charge Marion County residents for services you're providing in Levy County if they're already paying it. They'd be paying for it twice. I think what we need to do is take a step back, and I understand that this board has tried to reach out to the sheriff. County administration, I've already talked to the county administrator, I've already talked to the assistant county administrator that oversees MSTU, and at this point, give us an opportunity to meet with the sheriff, more than likely with Marion County Commissioner Bryant, who represents this district, and see if we can't salvage the relationship with the sheriff to provide the crime watch in Marion County, and also reach out to Levy County to see what Levy County can do, because they do have crime watch programs, and they do have community resources in Levy County. So what I plan to do is, your next advisory board meeting is March 21st. We will try to have a meeting with the sheriff and Commissioner Bryant and county administration and Mr. Wicker to try to see what we can do to salvage that relationship. Tonight is the first time I've heard anything about an accident, and that's what prompted the cessation of the patrols being able to go to Levy County. So let me figure out if I can't get us back to what that initial agreement was, so that there's no additional cost to the residents on Levy or Marion County side.
Okay, Counselor, the accident, all it was a scratch down the side of the vehicle. And the vehicle was towed, and they towed it and had to have it repaired. The person that was doing it was checking a house of a resident, actually it was one of the Crime Watch members that was out of town. So they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. But the sheriff wants absolutely nothing to do with having any of his vehicles in Levy County. No if, and, or but. And like I said, I had tried 5 times to speak with him directly. He would not return my calls. And finally, what ended up happening, he had Lieutenant Bloom call me and tell me that that's the way it's going to be. The folks that had volunteered previously, when they quit, they have absolutely no intention of ever working for the sheriff again. Period. They're done. And they felt disrespected, and that really, it rankled them terribly. I don't want to use any stronger language in that, but they were mad, and I don't blame them. Some of the folks that were on the Crime Watch were also Levy residents. They lived in Levy County. They were patrolling their own area. Levy County does not patrol private houses any longer. Crime Watch does not. They don't do it. So we're trying to reinvent the wheel, I guess. But all we're trying to do is do what's right for the entirety of Rainbow Lakes Estates. And this had seemed to be the only solution that would get that done.
Yeah, I had one question. I was part of the email chain of all this going back and forth. And the one name I never saw in the email was Sheriff Woods. Do we even know that this went as high up to his office? Because the highest name I saw on there was Lieutenant Bloom.
Yeah, Lieutenant Bloom intercepted all of my communications. So I honestly don't know if the sheriff ever did receive any word that I tried to contact him. I don't know.
And that's, Mr. Chair, that is why I'm asking for the opportunity to try to see whether or not there's been misinformation shared, what we can do to salvage that relationship, because I think that it was working. What I heard earlier is it's been working since 1999. aside from one little issue, the residents have been happy and pleased with the way that it's been operating. To follow up on the question that you posed to Mr. Wicker about donations, Marion County would own any cars that are donated. They have to be insured through Marion County, which also would increase some of the cost to your residents. Right now, or under the Crime Watch, the sheriff was absorbing all those costs. He gets grants, he gets additional funding. That is another thing that as a community watch, there's a lot of funding that you're not eligible for because you're not underneath a sheriff or a police department. So if you'll allow me, I will bring an update back to you at the March 21st meeting, maybe even bring some additional staff and or somebody from the sheriff's office to kind of talk about moving forward what we can do.
All right. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's it for Crime Watch. All right, next on the agenda is 6C, broadband. It's open for board discussion or input from Marion County officials.
Well, I believe they've been extending, Comcast has been wiring parts of the residents. I don't know how far back it's gonna reach. I tried to get that out of the guys that were doing it. They said, oh, so.
I'll be honest, I haven't been up on top. I haven't been out of bed for a month.
Oh, yeah, well, I was in a loony boom.
Chair, my understanding is that based on the grant information that the broadband is estimated or expected to reach the county line. So it won't go, it will include all of RLE, but only as far as the county line. It's not going to transcend, so.
Katie Burton, Community Manager at MSTU. Comcast did actually lay some lines down the boulevard here. I pulled that permit. I wasn't able to find out how far it goes back from the service provider. That was not part of our grant program, so I was just kind of trying to figure it out from them. What was our grant program is Spectrum, and they will be starting to build out here soon on the Marion County side. And I know there is also grant activity on the Levy County side. I don't have those details, but I know that one's going a little bit faster than Marion County from what I heard from Spectrum last week.
I have to say, I like this word grant, free money. I'm going to start putting my hand out. Where do I find these things? All right, thank you. All right, moving on. 6D, the clubhouse roof. Do we have any update on an engineer's report, cost analysis for bringing the building completely up to standards and codes, or possibly the demolition of the building? Do we have any?
I'm going to go ahead and address that. Chad Wicker, MSTU Director. I actually just recently took a tour of the building just to see what kind of state it's in, and I reached out to our facilities department, who is going to assist me with getting someone to do an assessment of that building. So
Great.
I did reach out with them earlier this week, and I'll probably set up a meeting in the next few weeks with them or the company that's going to help us do some assessments.
Well, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Anybody? All right, moving along. New business. I have none for a change. How's that?
I'd like to bring up kind of an old subject, and I don't know if we tabled it or we had some discussion about a splash pad for our kids. I'd like to make a motion to get an estimate of some sort to place this splash pad. I think it would go over real well. I've also spoken to some of the residents, and they would like to have a community garden. I looked into clearing out maybe an acre of where our walkway is, somewhere around there. It's $3,500 to $5,000 to clear an acre of property. Now, some may say, why? Well, some residents don't have a place to place a garden. And two, I think this would be a good time where a community would get together, they would talk about the vegetables and plants, and maybe interchange vegetables and plants, or even at the the plant swap, maybe bring some vegetables. So I'm asking for a motion to look into that. If it's feasible, I know we probably have to put up a camera maybe or something, just because people steal crap. Oh, I mean stuff. Also, I've called Marion County. They do have a program for road cleanup. It's part of the Adopt a Highway program. What the county does do is what we need is a liaison. I really don't want to do it, maybe a subcommittee, where each month, this little subcommittee would decide on which road would need to be cleaned up. And the county will provide garbage bags, tools to pick up this garbage without having to touch it, or even gloves. They will supply orange vests so that people can be seen. And at the end of the day, you just place the bags along the road and the county will come and pick them up. Now, I placed a phone call and I didn't write down her name. She was supposed to call me back, so I called and left another message because I would like to start this community. I don't want to call it a community cleanup because that's not true. It's just a roads cleanup. And I would like to start that, if we can do that. And I'd also like to ask if we can get new chairs. I may seem silly, but we are volunteers and our butts start to hurt on these chairs.
Pam, for our March agenda, could you put on there, for us to discuss a splash pad and also the communicator?
One other thing I'd like to bring up.
Oh, I thought he was done.
Nope, I ain't done. I talk to a lot of residents. A lot of people like me here in Rainbow Lakes Estates because I don't do dumb videos. And they will talk to me. And one of the funny things that I keep hearing is, how come our walls look so uninviting at the entrance? No bushes, no trees, no flowers. And they even say that the walls are so dark. Is it possible that we can brighten up these walls somehow? Because I want RLE to be more inviting, if we could afford it. I know we can't, like Citrus Springs, they got these beautiful waterfalls. I know that's unreasonable, but I would like to make our entrance a little more pleasurable to the eye.
That would be possible if we could get rid of a doctor's office at a gas station.
Well, can we paint the walls? And even these lights that are sitting on top, they're very old-fashioned looking.
Well, I think that's probably would be something we could address with the landscaping that's going to take place there.
Okay, when's that gonna happen?
They just discussed that, this or that.
The bid just
Well,
came
a
back.
little bit, they did, yeah.
Right, the bid just came back, it has to be reviewed.
Oh, I'm sorry. With this head spinning stuff, I
worries.
forgot, sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Katie Freeman, MST Operations Manager, that would actually be, so that's actually separate from the contract. The contract that I was talking about previously is just a general maintenance contract that will be, every few weeks they will come in and take care of the regular maintenance. So there's actually a separate contract that we went out and got a bid for that would be a complete revamp of the front entrance. And so that's looking anywhere between 10 to 13,000, and that would be in next year's budget. So
Okay.
that will be another line item for next year. So that will be a complete revamp of the front entrance.
So that's separate than
That
from.
would be different. The one that I was talking about previously would be general maintenance to help the staff that's here, since there's only 2 right now. So they can't obviously maintain all 100+ miles that you guys have in here right now. So by themselves. So right now, the maintenance contract would be to help them maintain the medians and everything that you guys have. This would be a different contract to completely revamp the front entrance.
Okay, and we would do that when?
That would be, after October of this year. 'Cause that's
After
the next-
October.
That would be the next fiscal budget.
Okay. That answer your questions, Mr. Levitt?
Yes.
All right, any other new business, anyone?
No new business, can I get to my question?
All right, prior meeting updates. Dan, isn't that where you want to jump in?
I had two things that were still open. I'm still waiting for a response from the district office on whether or not you were able to locate a document or some sort of an agreement between Marion County and Levy County on the roads maintenance for the feeder roads, specifically 125th. You have not completed it, or one has not been located?
No.
Okay.
There's a verbal from Mr. DeVincentis.
It was a verbal? All right, okay, I'll take it from there. And then I also wanted to get back to something that I had asked at the previous meeting regarding the posting of revenues for the different events and that sort of thing, the misconnection between general government and recreation revenues. So I understand we have a response on that.
So, in regard to your question about where the revenue from the recreation account was being posted, since you weren't able to locate it and use it for the expenses, I did some due diligence and I did some looking. We went all the way back to the year 2000 and went forward, and I was able to locate that money, and we are going to actually do a bar for those funds and move them into the recreation account, and that's going to take place in March. And then the accounts have been rectified, so anything moving forward starting, I believe it was about 4 weeks ago, it was about a week after we had spoken, those accounts have been rectified, so everything moving forward is going into the correct account.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kate.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we're going to general public comment.
Teresa Brown. Does this work?
Let's hope.
I would say something, but I can't.
Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
No, it's not working at all.
You turned it off.
I didn't turn it off. Hello?
There you go.
Yay!
Your name and address, please.
I live at 4671 Southwest Lagonia Court. I've been here for 25 years. And, okay, well, that's another issue. But I've been driving in these roads. We have Beach Boulevard, Rainbow Lakes Boulevard, and Marine Boulevard. Then we have the little streets in between, and Great Lakes Boulevard. Well, all four of them, I got run off the road for these people driving 40 to 50 to 60, 70 miles an hour. This is a residential people. I mean, I'm going 40 miles an hour. I think that's enough. And guy in back of me is flashing his lights, honking his horn, blowing it, big signs, and he passed me on the double line. I just pulled to the side of the road and let him go by. I was so angry. Then on Audubon, which is a small road, I was coming one way, the car was coming this way, and we went head on. I ran off the road. I just couldn't handle it. And then coming on Marine Boulevard, I was like, again, 40 miles an hour. I just pulled to the side of the road and let him go. I didn't see him, he was just gone. You're like 90 miles an hour. I mean, give me a break. Can't you change the speed limit to at least 35? I mean, 45, they don't mean nothing to them. I mean, what happens if a child comes on the road, a deer, a dog, kids on bicycles? We have kids here and families. It's a shame. I'm sorry.
I agree with you. I'm in the most populated area of Rainbow Lakes, the Pines, where we have 299 homes
Yes.
on 4 streets. And they will whiz down the street at 65 miles an hour.
Right.
You know, I will say something that a lot of residents are probably unaware of, that we have had in the last several months a larger presence from the sheriff's department in here. And Lieutenant Mangaluso's not here tonight, but he could better answer your concerns.
It's a shame because we do have families here.
I agree.
And we have children, and we have animals. This is a bird sanctuary, and we have lots of animals. But I heard shooting the other day, killing a poor animal. I mean, that's ridiculous. We have no shooting here. It's against the rules.
Thank you.
Once again, our lieutenant's not here tonight.
Yeah.
Once again, our lieutenant's not here tonight.
Lieutenant Mangaluso is not here. I have requested more police presence, and it is happening.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen more police cars in the last month in RLE than I have in years. So it is getting better in that respect. But we still do have idiots that drive way over the speed limit. And those people need to be made an example of. I agree. I completely agree. And anybody that's, the stated speed limit, unless it's specified otherwise, is 30 miles an hour. You cannot drive over 45 anywhere in RLE, not legally.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks this is a highway.
Yeah. I live on a side street. I live on Bluegill, and speed limit there is 30. We have people that fly through there 60, 70 miles an hour with no regard. I had a sign put up there, 30 miles an hour. I think they just laugh at it. So the people that are doing it, if you happen, I've brought this up before, if you happen to see and can get a license number, you can report it to the county.
2 years ago, I was on Great Lakes Boulevard picking up garbage. And my trusty bag, my glove, and my wand. And I'm just picking up little trash here and there. Well, a guy was coming by and flipped a cigarette at me in July. And I got his license plate, and I got his name of the truck, and I called the police. They came out, the sheriff's department, got my name and address and all that good stuff. And they found, it took a while, Mr. Singh, it didn't happen overnight. 3 months later, he got a $500 ticket and 30 days in jail. Ruled to death.
Well, we need more due diligence like yourself.
Yes,
Thanks for coming in tonight.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, there is a page on the Marion County Sheriff's Department website where you can make an online report. Now, the unfortunate thing is, because it is a public website, you do have to identify yourself. You do have to put your own name in there. But it can be done on there. It can be done still.
Payne, do we have anyone else? Is there anyone else that wants to come before? No?
I'll turn this off.
All right. No one else? Okay. All right. That closes the general public comment. Do any of the board members or our board guests have anything they would like to announce? No? All right. An advisory board budget workshop right here in the community center on Wednesday, March 13th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Our next advisory board meeting will be held on Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. here in the community center. And the dedication of the George Lease Field at Seacliff Park is Tuesday, March 26th, 2024. I thank everybody for coming in tonight, and thank you to our guests. And this meeting is adjourned.
Those dates, are they gonna be shown on the website?
county website?
Yeah.
I can check with the administrative service coordinator in the NSU office. I think she's the one that does the website stuff.
I appreciate it.